In a small fishing village on the coast of the Philippines, where the ocean breeze carried both dreams and despair, there lived a boy named Arnold. He was barely 15, thin as a bamboo stick, with sun-brown skin and eyes that carried 1,000 unspoken stories. His mother sold dried fish at the market, while his father, once a fisherman, could no longer go to sea after an accident that left his leg crippled. Every morning, Arnold would wake before dawn, helping his mother at the market, before rushing to school barefoot. But even school wasn't a certainty. Some days he missed it entirely, because the family couldn't afford his lunch. Yet, there was one thing that never left him: his voice. From a young age, Arnold would hum along to the radio at the market. His voice, though rough and untrained, had something magical in it, something pure, honest, and deeply emotional. When he sang, even the waves seemed to pause for a moment. His mother often told him, "Enoch, your voice is a gift. Someday, it will take you far." But someday felt impossible. One afternoon, after a long day helping his mother sell fish, Arnold sat by the pier, strumming an old guitar he'd found in the trash. The strings were rusty, and one was replaced with fishing wire, but he didn't care. He began singing Hotel California, the song he had heard countless times from tourists' radios. His voice floated across the waves, soft, haunting, and full of longing. A tourist couple walking nearby stopped to listen. They filmed him quietly on their phone, mesmerized. The boy's voice carried a kind of pain that only comes from real struggle, a mix of loneliness and hope. When he finished, they clapped and gave him a few pesos. Arnold smiled shyly, never imagining that small act would change his life forever. A few weeks later, the video they uploaded to YouTube exploded. Millions of views. Comments flooded in from around the world. "This kid's voice gave me chills. He sings with his soul. Someone find this boy." Local TV stations searched for him. One morning, while Arnold was washing dishes outside his small nipa hut, a van pulled up. A woman stepped out, holding a microphone. "Are you Arnold, the boy who sang Hotel California?" Confused and nervous, he nodded. Within days, Arnold was invited to audition for Philippines Got Talent. He'd never been to Manila before. When he stepped onto that giant stage, his worn-out slippers and trembling hands told a story that words couldn't. The bright lights blinded him for a moment, but then he looked at the crowd, thousands of people, staring in silence, and at the judges' table, where 4 celebrities sat, waiting. One of them smiled warmly. "What's your name?" "Enoch." "Arnold Poe," he said softly. "From Lady." "And what will you sing for us today?" He hesitated. "Hotel California by the Eagles." The audience murmured, an unusual choice for a poor teenage boy from the province. But when the music started, and Arnold began to sing, time seemed to freeze. His voice was unlike anything they'd ever heard. It was raw, cracked in places, yet carried such sincerity it went straight to the heart. Every lyric felt alive, such a lovely play spot in his tone. It wasn't lovely at all, it was yearning, desperate, like he was singing about the life he dreamed of but never had. Midway through the song, people began standing. By the final chorus, the entire hall was on their feet, clapping, cheering, crying. The camera caught tears rolling down one judge's cheek. When the music stopped, silence filled the air, followed by thunderous applause. One of the judges leaned forward, voice trembling. "Arnold, do you know what you just did?" He shook his head, tears forming in his eyes. "You reminded us why music exists, to touch souls. You didn't just sing that song, you lived it." And then, with tears and a smile, she slammed her hand on the golden buzzer. Golden confetti rained down as Arnold fell to his knees, overwhelmed. The crowd erupted, chanting his name: "Arnold! Arnold!" He looked up toward the sky, his face shining with tears and disbelief. In that moment, the poor boy from the pier had become a symbol of hope, not just for himself, but for every child who ever dreamed beyond poverty. Backstage, he called his mother on a borrowed phone. "Wow, I got the golden buzzer," she cried on the other end, her voice breaking. "I told you, Enoch. Your voice will take you far." From that day on, Arnold's life transformed. He recorded songs, toured across the country, and used his earnings to rebuild his parents' home and start a small music school for underprivileged kids. But he never forgot where he came from. Every weekend, he'd go back to the pier with his old guitar and sing for the sea, the same place where his dream was born. Years later, when a reporter asked him, "What kept you going when life was hardest?" Arnold smiled and said softly, "When you have nothing, even a song can be everything. And sometimes kindness from strangers can turn that song into a miracle." The story of Arnold became one of the most watched and shared moments in talent show history. But beyond the fame and applause, it was his humility, the way he used his success to uplift others, that